4 days left in the transfer window and Forest are looking to get rid of some to make room for the new players. But who's going and who's coming? Let's get into it. Welcome to Forest Fan TV. Good morning, good evening, or good night, wherever in the world you are. Whatever time of day you're watching this, hope you're having a fantastic day. And welcome to your latest Nottingham Forest news. In today's episode, we'll be talking about a couple of players that look like they are leaving this transfer window as Steve Cooper and the hierarchy look to thin out the squad to make room for some new players. We'll also be talking about heavily linked players, offers that may have happened for new players, and plenty more. Before we get into it, guys, don't forget that episode 7 of Grumpy Old Reds is out, where we got some really interesting rants from the like of Forest Ant and also Dino and Ez. Plenty there to keep you busy for the Forest content today. This will be the only video coming out today as I have some other commitments, so apologies for that. But go listen to episode 7. And also, if you haven't already, go listen to our Craig Bromfield interview. It's in our playlist where Dino talks to him and he tells you about the life of Brian Clough. So if you want some Forest content, that's there for you today. But we're here for some transfer news, so let's jump straight into it. And let's talk about a couple of players that look set to be leaving Nottingham Forest. The 2-for-1 deal this summer with Harry Toffolo and Lewis O'Brien, who joined from Huddersfield for a combined roughly 10 million fee, looks to be set to be coming to an end, with Lewis O'Brien set to join West Brom, most likely on a loan deal, and Harry Toffolo going to Belgium to join the club Anderlecht, who is sitting about 11th in the table. Now, with Toffolo, he was linked, as we mentioned yesterday, to Hull, but he has rejected a move down back into the Championship. And he is quite interested in this Anderlecht deal. So it seems quite likely that this one is going to get over the line. Whether this is a loan with a buy, or a straight up permanent deal, we'll find out over the next few hours. But Toffolo has fallen out of favour, well behind the likes of Lodi, and Omar Richards coming in, or should I say back to full fitness, means that it's more and more unlikely that Toffolo will get game time, and hence why this move to me seems extremely likely. On Lewis O'Brien, I'm not sure what's happened there. There's been heavy rumours of fallouts behind the scenes in the dressing room between the likes of him, Morgan Gibbs-White, Yates, etc. And it seems to have all stemmed from that fateful night at Leicester where the arguments began. So it looks like Lewis O'Brien won't be playing out the rest of the season at Nottingham Forest. And that one disappoints me. I had Lewis O'Brien as our best player for the first 2 months. I think there's still a hell of a player in him, but at the moment it looks like things haven't settled back down and he will be making a move to West Brom. Let me know down below how you feel about these two moves. Would you keep them? Would you get rid? Let me know. Let's give you a quick update on Allan Saint Maximan. And by the way, guys, we have news on a defender link. You're really gonna want to hear it. But on ASM, the domino has fallen, domino number 1, and Gordon has been, deal agreed with Newcastle. A medical is about to happen, which means that Allan Saint Maximan may, and the keyword is may, be allowed to leave the Toon this window. The key breaking bit of news is, as we mentioned to you yesterday, AC Milan were also interested in him. It's come out now in the news that AC Milan would not be interested in ASM in this transfer window, and if they were to get him, would want to do it over the summer. So at the moment, another domino has fallen. The big domino is, do Forest really want to pick ASM up, and do Newcastle want to sell him? At the moment, if that's going to happen, it's a one-on-one deal. So watch this space and we'll keep you posted. If I had to give you a percentage out of 10 or a number out of 10 on this deal happening, at the moment I feel like it's a 4. But remember, we've signed some crazy players, haven't we? We've had Lodi come in, we've had Lingard come in, all these kind of players that no one would have expected, be it from even inside the Forest fan base. So don't rule anything out when it comes to the Greek father, because he buys who he wants when he wants. But there's been some mixed reaction on ASM in the comments. A lot of you are saying he's a bit of Newcastle's version of Adama Traore. I tend to disagree. I think he's got end product, he's got pace. And the reaction from the Newcastle fans has been one of disdain and laughter, which only tells me one thing. They really don't want us to have him. It's not the same reaction they gave to us when we signed Wood. They welcomed that with open arms. On this one, they're trying to laugh at the fact that this deal might happen. And that tells you everything you need to know. But as always, Forest fans, Newcastle fans, get your thoughts in down below. We spoke to you yesterday about Angelo, however you pronounce it, from Santos, the young 18 Brazilian. Well, there has been more developments in this. It comes out that Santos now want Forest to pay a £1 million loan deal until the end of the season, with an option/obligation to buy for 18 million in the summer if Forest are to avoid relegation. This deal is currently being discussed by the clubs and could end up happening. So if this is something you've been scouting and watching, a lot of you have commented about this player and how good he is, then let me know down in the comments below how you feel about it. But this is a hell of a lot of loans that Forest are putting on. Now, some of you will ask, how does this work? If a loan has an obligation to buy, for example, the Chris Wood deal, then that does not really technically count as one of the allocated loans we have. So, with Chris Wood basically not being classed as a loan, it means Forest still do have room to bring another loanee in, and it may be in the shape of Angelo or Angelo. I don't know. Brazilians, let me know how it's meant to be pronounced down below. So, that's another deal that could be done over the next couple of days, and some more Samba being added into the Forest ranks. How do you feel about it down below? Let me know. Okay, we promised you some news on centre backs, and here it is. And don't get onto the edge of your seat or anything like that, because it ain't that exciting. Basically, Felipe, whose contract is expiring in the next 6 months at Atletico Madrid, that is, may be moving to Nottingham Forest. I think he's about 34 years old. He was a class defender in his time, but has lost a lot of pace over recent years. I mean, it's granted, his age dictates that. He could be coming and linked with Nottingham Forest. Now, the link is very weak, but, you know, beggars can't be choosers right now. I'm desperate for a centre-back to come in. Would I take him? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ask me that 5 years ago and I would have ripped your hand off because he's pure class and quality. But the lack of pace, and pace being the optimal thing that's missing right now, I'm not fully convinced. Nor am I that convinced on the sourcing of this either. But I really want a defender to come in. Like, he's Brazilian. It'd work well with Lodi. It'd be a FIFA style perfect link, Brazilian Atleti combination at the back there. Could he be, you know, a Silva style defender, because his experience dictates he knows how to defend, he understands how to play the lines and everything? Maybe. But we need pace, and it's not the profile we need. So with this one, look, take it with a grain of salt, because it is a loose link. But I'm desperate for a defender. Let me know how you feel about Felipe down below. On the Keylor Navas deal, this is still in progress and still in talks. The question really is, with Dean Henderson rumored to likely be back by like the 10th or something of February, is it really worth pursuing this Navas deal? As there will only be 1 or 2 games before Hendo's available, i.e. the Leeds match, and he should be back in time for the Fulham match if you believe the reports that are currently coming out. But it still looks like Forest are full steam ahead with Keylor Navas, as they are still deep in negotiation with PSG on turning this into a loan move. Now remember, Navas only has 6 months left on his contract, so the likelihood is that Forest will be looking for a loan on this, and then if things go well with him, pick him up on a free in the summer. But it's still the wages for me. That's a huge issue. Remember, he's currently on somewhere between 250k and 300k at PSG. And is he willing to take a massive drop in wages? My feeling is yes. And I'm talking about the summer here, because he is coming to the end of his career. But it still doesn't ring right to me on a deal that Forest should be looking to do. As a short-term plan, I understand it. But long-term, he's not the future for me. But I'm more interested in your thoughts down below. That wraps up your news for today. If anything breaks, I will bring it to you late this evening. As I mentioned, I won't be around this afternoon. So to keep you entertained, don't forget to go check out the Grumpy Old Reds podcast, episode number 7. It's a cracking episode. A lot gets discussed. And on top of that, don't forget to check out the Craig Bromfield interview if you haven't yet seen it. Both can be found in the playlist and in the link tree down below for Grumpy Old Reds. If you've made it this far into the video, let's see some Grumpy Old Reds in the comment. Just write GOR or GORE for short, just so I know you've got this far. And if you could, before you leave, don't forget to hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you are new for all your breaking forest news and all your forest content. This is the most watched forest fan channel on YouTube, and I want to thank each and every one of you for your support. Thank you for watching, and come on, you Reds.